morning. I'm Michelle Kraus of Vital Fitness Holistic Center in Severna Park, Maryland. I'm also the president of the Severna Park, Baltimore chapter of Holistic Chamber of Commerce. And I'm here to do some seated yoga with you today. And I wanted to give you my background. My background really didn't start with yoga. I actually am a craniosacral therapist, and I became a craniosacral therapist and a body worker by being in the fire department and throughout my life having numerous traumas. I was told that I was going to be a quadriplegic without a surgery, and I really didn't want to go that route. So I ended up getting more into the holistic, the chiropractic, the craniosacral work, and massage. And I give my clients a lot of yoga in between because it's about self-care on the daily basis. So that's what brings me to you today from the background of dealing with mechanism of injury with really rough traumas with people to being able to get people from the end of those traumas and into a healthier lifestyle. And so what I wanted to do is bring you first through a breathing exercise where we're just going to have our hands together. We're going to have our feet flat on the floor. It's a good time for you to kick off your shoes, and if you have to put the little brake on your wheels, it's a great time to do that so you don't roll throughout the session. You're going to take a deep breath in and out on the way down. In and out on the way down. To add a little bit more to it, to bring your neck into it, you can drop your head back when you come up. It helps to stretch the scalene muscle and get you to breathe in a little bit more. If you're having a seemingly more rough day and you feel like you need to do more inhale and exhale, go slower. Now you want to take your wrist. This is something that it goes overly neglected, and you want to link your hands together. You just roll your hands. So what it's like doing this with one hand. You roll your hands together. This is really good if you've been doing a lot of typing on the computer, if you've been doing a lot of work with your hands. Now go the other way, let the other one lead. You're going to see that one side is almost always going to be a little bit more imbalanced or a little bit weaker. Part of it is because you're left or right-handed, but some of it can be because of injuries. So it's a good thing to listen to that. Now go up and down. And all you're doing is up and up and up. So you're only moving the wrist. Movement comes from that wrist. And now let's do a little bit stretch on your shoulders and the side and the rib cage to get you to breathe a little deeper again. I want you to think about bringing your spine and your head all the way up to the ceiling, and that hand is going to elongate. You're going to separate your vertebrae. You're going to go up and to the side, and you're going to lead with that arm, and instead of crunching this side, we're going to separate the opposite side. You can put your hand up if you want. You can put it down to get more of a stretch. And so you're not really leaning to the side, you are actually stretching to that upper corner on the other side of the room. And the difference, if you put your fingers together, then separate. I don't know if you can feel that, but it's a good time to check that out. Come back up, stretch up again to get a nice elongation. We're going to do the other side. And when we do this, we're going to, as we go down to the side, we're going to do a nice exhale on the way down. So think up and out, inhale, exhale. And then inhale, go up, and go to the side when you exhale. Remember, we're stretching with the arm as opposed to collapsing that side. That turns into more like a moon. You want to keep both of your sits bones on the chair so that you're not tilting into that as well. And both feet flat on the floor. Come back up. It's not about how far over you go with that stretch. It's more about the elongation that you're putting into the ribs. And we're going to take your arm up and take a bend. And the same thing, you're going to think about stretching that other side. We're just going to do a tricep stretch where you're putting your hand down. You want your hand to drop towards the middle of the spine. And if you want to, and you're more advanced with this pose, You can take the other arm up, and you can grab the fingertips and you could pull down, but you always want to make sure that you're never feeling any pain. You want to make sure that you're feeling some tension, and again, you're going to feel an imbalance in one side than the other. One of the ways that you can make this a restorative yoga program for yourself is that you can do the one arm or the one side that's a little bit tighter than the other side. You can just do that side again. So you do one side twice and the other side once. So I'm going to turn to the side to show you this one. This is the owl pose. And you're going to put your hands behind you like this. Feet flat on the floor. And you can see I'm struggling a little bit. If you have wheels on your chair, you might be struggling. You can bring in a book or something to put underneath your feet. And so all you're doing is taking a good inhale. And you exhale and turn. And you're going to look with your eyes toward the back wall behind you. And then you can also pull your shoulder blades together in the back to get a little bit extra stretch there. But when you turn with your eyes, you're going to feel that tension. So you shouldn't be feeling any pain. You should only be feeling a little bit of tension, and you're going to breathe through it. So again, inhale. And I'm going to look one more time on the exhale. Turn around the front. You can sit there for just a minute. You can drop your arms if you feel the need to. This is really great to open up your chest. This is the reverse of sitting. Turn to the other side and inhale. Try and keep your chin nice and level, just like you're looking forward. You don't want to put that curve on the spine, on your neck. Exhale, and you turn and you look to the wall behind you. Inhale, one last time. Exhale, turn a little bit more and squeeze those shoulder blades back behind you. Look forward, straighten yourself out afterward. Now we're going to do a bend forward. We are going to do our first back bend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my feet flat out in front of me. They're going to be pretty wide. I'm going to think about being able to get off of that chair. If I can't sit up, then I'm good. That's the point that we want to be at, is that I can't sit up, because then we have the balance as a tripod. So we're going to take our hands behind us. We're going to interlink again. We are going to push our palms together. If this is where you are and pushing your palms together gives you tension, it's like we said, no pain. We don't want to feel any pain. Then just stay right there. And then work on pulling your shoulder blades back behind you and squeezing the shoulder blades together. If you can go further from that point of pulling the shoulder blades behind you, drop your head back, look through your eyebrows at the wall behind you, not the ceiling, and drop your head back. Squeeze your hands back together again, and at this point, move to put some weight into your heels. Come forward with a nice straight back. You want to drop down at the waist is where you're bending, more at the hips and the waist. And you're going to lift your back hands up, so you're going to inhale. Keep that straight. The way to keep the C-spine straight is to look through your eyes. Pull the hands up, and if you can go down on the exhale, go down. Stop here. Make sure that your shoulder blades are touching as close as they can. Your head is dropped back. Your hands and palms are together. You're going to inhale again. Exhale into it. Lift the hands up. Keep looking with the eyes. If you can go further than this, then go further. Another inhale. Palms together. Shoulder blades back. Head back. Eyes looking at the ceiling now. Drop down. You should, at this point, have your weight still in your sits bones, but also in your heels. And then we're going to relax our shoulders, let our hands go, and we're going to drop in front of us. Do not solidify your hands on the floor. You're going to let them just kind of drop like a floppy doll. Drop your head down. Let your head and your spine elongate with gravity into the floor. And breathe into this 3 to 5 times. Come back up, just roll the spine. You want to try and come up slowly with each vertebrae. Leave your chin to your chest. This is a really great one to do twice, even though we're not gonna be doing the left and the right. This is just an even pose. Definitely do this one twice. It's really good to do if that's all you can do for the day. That's the one that I recommend that you do. Again, no pain. You wanna make sure that all of these that you do, that you're doing with 3 to 5 breaths each time. That's gonna get you to a point of getting rid of that fight or flight. So now we're gonna go into a twist. It's always good to get our spine to twist. What we're trying to do is we're trying to undo your sitting throughout the day. So again, feet firmly on the floor. This one isn't as important about the being able to sit up. It is a good, it's a good way to do it though, is to check and see, because then you know that your sits bone, you're gonna feel solid on it. So you take this hand and you're gonna put one hand behind you. You're gonna see that my shoulder comes up automatically. Normally we're gonna be a little bit tighter in the anterior and medial deltoid. So we're gonna make sure that our body is sitting straight up. That shoulder pops up. So we're gonna drop that shoulder down. Then you're gonna take the opposite hand and put it on the opposite hip. And you wanna keep your chin nice and straight just as you were looking forward. And you wanna turn, and again, this twist is more about looking with your eyes. You're gonna inhale. And I'm gonna look at the wall behind me. And as I exhale, I turn my eyes more. So I inhale, and I feel my shoulders coming up. I'm gonna drop my shoulder again, and I'm gonna look at that wall behind me on the exhale. And I'm gonna give a little pull right in here, in my hip. I hold on to my thigh. That'll give me a nice little pull. So this is gonna give you, the eyes are gonna give you the twist that you need in the C-spine, right up at the base of the skull, and the hand down at your hip is gonna give you that good twist into the sacrum. And that's gonna get your whole spine on a twist, which is something we don't do every day when we're working on sitting at our desk. So we're gonna go the other way, and I'm not sure, I feel like my shoulder's up a little bit, but I really can't tell, so I'm just gonna try and work on relaxing it, because most of what you're doing with yoga is relaxing. So you're gonna take your hand, put it on the opposite thigh, good deep breath in, try to keep your chin nice and level, inhale. And I'm gonna look back with my eyes. Try to keep your sits bones solid on the chair and your feet solid on the floor. Inhale. When you exhale, try to see if you can't relax every muscle in your body while you're doing this, but keep your head going up to the ceiling. The goal to the exhale is to let the body relax into the position. We're going to turn back around here and do a little stretch of the lower spine. So you're going to sit with both feet on the floor. Again, after each of these, if you just want to take a break and be linear again and just put yourself back in that in your alignment with a good deep breath and take 3 to 5 breaths afterwards, that's great too. So I'm just going to take this foot and I'm going to lift up. And then on the exhale, the foot's going to come higher. You can hold on to the chair if you need to. You want that good straight back, head going to the ceiling like you have a string pulling you up. Inhale. Exhale, foot goes up. Inhale. Exhale, foot goes up. This one I tend to end up cutting a little short. I usually only do 2 breaths, mainly when I do classes, just because of the fact I want to move on and get you other really good stretches in. So head up to the ceiling again and switch. Good deep breath in as you lift the foot. Exhale. Up. And down. And that's going to help a lot with the hamstrings as well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do a seated warrior pose. We're going to work on our psoas muscle. Now when we work with our psoas muscle, there are 2 different ways that we can do it. My chair is a little bit wide here. You can see that my foot kind of dangles a little bit. I can lean a little bit forward on it. I'm going to show you the modified first. I'm going to lean a bit forward on my foot. I'm going to scoot up just a tiny bit. And I want that knee to hit right down to the ground. That's the most important. It's not about how far you can pull that heel up. That is what we're going to be working on. We don't want to feel any pain. Again, head up to the ceiling, a string pulling our head to the ceiling. Hold on to the back of the chair. Don't pull yourself close to the back of the chair. Stay right over so you're on your sits bone. Go ahead and pull that heel in if you can. Good deep breath, 3 of them, 3 to 5. That is our modified, and then for more advanced, we're gonna do a warrior pose. You're gonna see that my knee is bent and my heel is up. What I'm gonna work on first is putting my hand here and being stable, having my hips forward, and I'm gonna push that heel to the back wall and push that knee up to the sky. If I want to advance this a little bit, and I can see that I'm gripping with my toes, so I'm going to try and push my heel down while I do this. Take my hands up. Try to stretch the sides as well as the spine up and back. Hold it 3 to 5 breaths. Bring it back down. Drop that knee. We're going to turn to the other side, and I'm going to show you the modified again on this side too, a little bit quicker. If you're going to stay in the modified, please stay in it. Don't go forward if you don't think you can. I'm going to try and get that heel on the ground with when I'm doing the psoas muscle stretch and I'm just doing it this way, I want to make absolutely sure that that foot is more solid on the ground. When we do the warrior pose, it's a little bit easier because you have the back leg down. So again, it's not about how far you get that heel up. It's about having that knee pointing straight down and having your body directly over it, not pulling yourself back into the chair. Now, if you want more into this, a little more advanced, lean your head back and do your deep breathing that way. That'll help with the vagus nerve and the psoas muscle. They are connected right in the center together. They don't connect to each other, but they both connect in this area. The psoas muscle runs from here all the way up to the vertebrae in the spine here, and it connects in 3 to 4 different places. And then our vagus nerve connects up in our sphenoid and down into the organs. And so they do directly relate to each other. They can help stretch each other, which will help you getting that nice bend that you need, the opposite of sitting. Because when we sit, we're compressing those really important, the nerve and the muscle. So again, we're going to go into the warrior pose. I'm holding on to the back, letting my hip drop down, squaring it, push the foot back to the back wall, push the knee up to the ceiling, head again up to the ceiling, head and spine. We can advance it, put the arms up. If you want to, you can even turn this into a twist, dropping your hands down. Keep your chin nice and level. Make sure your spine is nice and straight. Come back. And now we're going to do a number 4. You take your bottom foot and you put it on all 4 points of the bottom of the foot, right here, 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 and here. We don't want to rest it here and here, especially when we walk too. We want to think about having our foot touch in all 4 spaces. That's going to give us more stability. So we want to keep that foot on the ground right there. We want to keep the foot that we just brought up, we want the ankle on the thigh. So we're going to take a good deep breath in. And on the exhale, you can push down either on the knee, you can push down on the calf, or you can push down on the thigh, whichever is more comfortable for you. Again, make sure you're sitting up straight. Sometimes sitting up straight in itself is more than enough to get our hips to open up. Inhale in, exhale out. Now if you want a little extra added to this, when you inhale in, you exhale out, push your hand down to exhale out, but push your knee to the ceiling. And hold that for a little while, and then release and see if your knee doesn't drop down just a little bit more and you get a little bit more opening in that hip. You're going to feel this right in this area here. Let me go to the other side. Again, spine straight. You're not going to be on your sits bone because you have your one leg out. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Have your 4 points on your foot. Push down when you exhale out. Now again, we can add to it. Inhale in. Push the knee to the ceiling, push your hand to the ground on your knee. You're going to have a little fight going on. That little fight that you have is going to allow that muscle to get, it's already probably feeling overstimulated. So what we want to do is we want to allow it to realize that it can let go. Go ahead and let it go and release. If you overstimulate it, then it finally realizes that it thought it was relaxing and it really wasn't the whole time. So we want to make sure that it has that feeling of relaxation. So if you overwork it for a couple seconds, then it may let go for you. All right, so the next one that we're going to do, I'm going to show you a part of it this way and then a part of it sideways, but you can stay right where you are. So you're going to match up your feet together just like this. Put your hands on the chair. Make sure your wheels are locked on this one. Put your feet together again. You're going to slide your bum off the chair. You're going to put your weight slightly on the chair with the lower part of your spine and the rest on your hands, and you're going to drop your head back. Take a good deep breath. Now go ahead and drop your hips down and then push with your hands up and push your hips up to the sky. Drop your head back. Look through your eyebrows so that your neck spine, your cervical spine is nice and straight. Look through those eyebrows. Deep breath. And bring it back. Close the knees and then slide back on. Our next pose is going to be a standing pose. We're going to take a minute just to kind of breathe in the last pose that we did. It's always good to relax a little bit in between the poses and take a few breaths. We've been moving along pretty quickly. Okay, so on this one we're going to be doing the triangle pose, but we're going to be doing triangle pose on a chair. And so you're going to have your hands out. Put your hands perpendicular to the floor. You're going to look over the fingers that are opposite of the knee you have on the chair. We're going to think windmill, and we're going to turn at the same exact time. And you're going to drop right down to the side of that foot. You're going to put your arm in alignment with the lower part of your leg. Fingertips to the sky, chin to the shoulder. Try to get that snug up there, the chin and the shoulder. Your nose is going to be in alignment with your thumb. Now on every inhale, we're going to stretch both fingertips away from each other. So inhale. Exhale, keep it separated. Inhale. Keep it separated on the exhale. One more. Keep it separated. Stretch as far as you can. Fingertips to the floor, fingertips to the ceiling. Windmill back. Drop your arms. Give yourself a minute to breathe. You want to roll your shoulders back a little bit here. You should feel a little bit more open in this area by now. Now we're going to go to the other side. Same thing. Fingertips out and away from you. You want to make sure everything is lined up. Chin to the shoulder. You can start this side with the chin connection to the shoulder right away so that you can turn everything together. Windmill, we're going to do our head with the shoulders and the fingertips. Come down. You want to pull your belly button into the spine on this. That'll be a good support for your spine. Good inhale in. Separate the fingertips on the inhale in. Exhale. Keep them separated. Inhale. Chin to the shoulder. Try to keep your nose in alignment with your thumb. Inhale, separate. And the final really strong separation, fingertips apart. Come back like a windmill. And drop your arms. Now we're going to come back and we're going to do a little bit of cat-cow breathing. Turn to the side to show you the cat and cow. You can also do this in the beginning before you get started. This is a really good one to do after you've done the arm up and the stretch over. So start with the elongation of the spine. Take a deep breath in. Go into cat. You just compress everything in the front, chin to the chest. Exhale. Cow, inhale. Shoulder blades back, looking through the eyebrows when you inhale in. Curl it around into the cat. Inhale, look through the eyebrows to the wall behind you, head back, shoulder blades touching. Exhale, belly button to the spine, chin to the chest. Really pull those shoulders forward. And one last inhale. And come back. And try to notice from the beginning and the end of when you do an exercise like that, see if you have any more mobility. Sometimes it's good to go through and do it again. It's really helpful for you to do some of the positions twice to see, have you noticed any improvement? Have you noticed any loosening? If you have any questions at all, you can contact us at vitalfitnessholisticcenter.com, 240-903-0980. We are on the East Coast of the U.S., but we are available to work with you virtually. And namaste, and have a terrific day. Thank you.